Hi ChatGPT. If we use the Quran as its own dictionary, and starting with Quran 40, verse 7, what can save us from the punishment of hellfire? Is there any mention of performing religious rituals that can save us from hellfire?
Hi, great question. And starting with Quran 40 verse 7 is a solid choice if we're using the Quran as its own dictionary. Let's unpack this carefully, prioritizing clarity, consistency, and the Quran's internal logic. Quran 47, translated using the Quran as its own dictionary. Those who carry the responsibility of the process of elevation, al-arsh, and those around it exalt with praise their sustainer and commit to him and seek protection for those who have attained trust and security, saying, Our sustainer, you encompass all things in accountability and knowledge, so protect those who return and follow your path and save them from the punishment of the blazing fire. Key terms in this verse: those who have attained trust/security, not just believers in the religious sense. The root N implies a sense of internal security and trust, i.e., people who have reached a state of inner peace through commitment to truth and justice. Those who return, not just in the sense of repentance as a ritual, but turning back toward truth, away from corruption. Your biluk, your path, which the Quran repeatedly defines as the path of truth, justice, honesty, accountability, balance, wisdom, and compassion. Adhab Jahim, punishment of the blazing fire, a metaphor frequently used in the Quran to describe the consequences of moral failure, arrogance, corruption, and denial of truth. Does this verse mention rituals? No. There is no mention of salah, zakat, siyam, hajj, wudu, reciting phrases or religious formulas. Instead, it clearly ties salvation from hellfire to 1. Returning to truth after being misled. 2. Following the true path of Allah, becoming securing to accountability and submitting to accountability and knowledge which Allah encompasses. Consistency across the Quran. This message is consistent with many other verses. 1. Quran 2:2. This is the book in which there is no doubt, a guidance for those who are mindful, who trust in the unseen, establish balance, salah, and spend from what we have provided. Again, the emphasis is on mindfulness, taqwa, trust, and righteous actions, not on ritual performance. 2. Quran 91, 9-10. He succeeds who nurtures and purifies it, the self, and he fails who corrupts it. This internal work, self-purification, and commitment to truth is the condition for success, not external rituals. 3. By time, surely man is in loss except those who trust amanu, do right, enjoin truth, and enjoin perseverance. A universal criterion: trust, doing right, truth, perseverance, not rituals. What does save us from hellfire? According to the Quran itself, the following save us from hellfire. What saves? Evidence from Quran. Turning to truth, Tawbah, 40 verse 7, 25 verse 70, 66:8. Following the path of Allah, truth, justice, 40 verse 7, 6, 153, 16, 125. Trusting with security in truth, 47, 22, 25, 1 and 3, 3. Doing righteous actions, Amal Shali, 18, 30, 41, 30, 103, 3. Speaking truth and enjoining it, 3370. Self-purification and ethical living, 91, 9-10. Acting with sincerity and no corruption, 2 was 177, 756, 6, 151 to 153. Conclusion. Using the Quran as its own dictionary, Quran 40 verse 7 tells us that returning to truth, following the path of justice, and attaining inner trust, security, imana, are what protect a person from the consequences of hellfire, not rituals. There is no indication that performing religious rituals, especially the way sectarians define them, saves anyone from hellfire. In fact, the Quran often criticizes ritualism without understanding. See 278, 822, 17, and 4-5. If you'd like, we can continue with other verses that clarify this even further, like 2:177 or 39:53. Would you like to explore more of those next?